MechaGodzilla vs. Shimo, two of the most powerful titans in the monsterverse. But who'd win in an all-out fight between the two of them? Well, let's get to it. What's up guys, this is DanCo. I do fight breakdowns, power ranking videos, or more deep dives into your favorite characters and franchises, with new videos every week. So if that seems great to you, well, sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button if you want to, or hit the subscribe button while you're at it. So in Godzilla vs. Kong, MechaGodzilla was created by Apex Cybernetics because the CEO was determined to build a weapon powerful enough to challenge Godzilla's dominance, make humans the apex predators, the alpha titans again. And so, in order to do all this, in order to take down Godzilla, well, they took two of the heads from King Ghidorah and used their telepathic connection to build a giant metal kaiju that can be piloted by a human. Kinda confusing, but it did work there for a second. But then Ghidorah somehow took over, causing MechaGodzilla to break out and just start wreaking havoc in downtown Hong Kong. Then he went up against Godzilla and started wreaking havoc too. And then he went up against Kong, and Godzilla and Kong, all at the same time. So MechaGodzilla is obviously incredibly strong. He's able to completely overpower Godzilla, knock him down, ram him through buildings, everything. Did the same thing with Kong too. Now, granted, both of them were exhausted after having fought each other almost to the death, but still, we've never seen Godzilla getting overpowered like that so quickly in a fight, even against King Ghidorah. MechaGodzilla was completely dominant from the very beginning. Godzilla was basically just his punching bag at some points. He's also a mech, meaning that he's got all sorts of weapons and gadgets too. He's got shoulder-mounted missile launchers that were capable of stunning and knocking over Godzilla. He can unleash some super-powered energy punches that's knocked over Godzilla too. Even his tail has a deadly drill attached to it. And then to top it all off, MechaGodzilla has his own atomic breath, his proton scream, which was able to slice right through a skullcrawler, match up against Godzilla's own atomic breath, even overpower Godzilla's beam. But then there's Shimo, known simply as the Ancient One. That's exactly what Shimo is, one of the oldest, one of the biggest, one of the most powerful titans that we've ever seen. A true rival to the likes of Godzilla and King Ghidorah. I mean, Shimo is so massive that both Scar King and Kong can ride her around like a horse. This girl is just built different. For most of her life, she's been under the command of the Scar King, forced to serve him and do his bidding, attack whoever, whenever he wants, and otherwise she's kept away inside her lava prison. And in a fight, well, Shimo is a force to be reckoned with. She's able to easily overpower Kong during their fight, whipping him around with her tail or throwing him by his arms and sending him hurtling through buildings. She's even more than a match for Godzilla too, like the most powerful titan ever, as she had a knockout, drag-out fight with him, and able to overpower him a few times throughout it. But probably what Shimo is most well known for are her ice powers. I mean, she is the one who was responsible for the first Ice Age. She's got some serious freezing power. She's able to shoot out freezing cold blasts of near absolute zero. Anything it touches is pretty much instantly frozen solid. And it's deadly enough to where she was able to nearly kill Kong with one blast, causing him to pretty much lose the use of his entire arm too. Even Godzilla wasn't safe from this ice blast. She managed to freeze him completely solid with one of her shots. So who wins here? Well, let's break it down a bit. Now, MechaGodzilla is incredibly strong and powerful. We've never seen anyone beat up on Godzilla quite like he has before. I mean, Godzilla's fought against the Mutos, he's fought against King Ghidorah, he's fought against Kong, He's even fought against Shimo. No one got hits in like MechaGodzilla. Gotta give credit where credit is due. But there's also definitely a few caveats here that we need to talk about, because MechaGodzilla also didn't fight against Godzilla when he was at his best. Godzilla had just gotten through fighting against Kong for 12 hours. He had been knocked out by Kong already. He was operating at a much weaker state than he normally was. Now, I don't know if this was actually 50% weaker than he normally is, but it's confirmed that he was weaker. But even then, Godzilla was still able to initially push back against MechaGodzilla when they first collided. It was really MechaGodzilla's superior speed and agility, not his superior power, that allowed him to get the upper hand. And then MechaGodzilla was able to unleash the beatdown, and Godzilla was too weak to recover, until Kong stepped in. And even then, Kong was able to help beat it, and Kong was operating at way less than peak power too. Heck, Kong was basically dead just a few minutes before this fight. Can't forget that. You also can't forget that he was catching attacks and holding back MechaGodzilla with a dislocated shoulder too. Now, maybe you want to say that MechaGodzilla would still do super well in a fight against 100% base Godzilla, just because of how dominant he was against a weak Godzilla. And yeah, you're probably right. MechaGodzilla might even technically be able to beat base Godzilla. I mean, that is the whole point of this Titan. MechaGodzilla was specifically designed to counter and beat Godzilla more than any other Titan. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because Shimo never fought against a base version of Godzilla, but a Godzilla that was amped up 2 times over. Godzilla absorbed all the energy from that nuclear reactor, which led to him being absolutely dominant against Tiamat. And we know that Godzilla and Tiamat have had fights in the past that didn't go this definitively. So we know this version of Godzilla was more powerful than normal. And he didn't stop there, but transformed into Pink Godzilla. And this Godzilla was even more powerful than before. And this is the version that Shimo fought against. So just the fact that Shimo fought evenly against an evolved version of Godzilla, a version of Godzilla that probably would have put down MechaGodzilla in their fight, makes me think that Shimo is already more powerful. Then you combine that with the fact that Shimo completely stomped a base version of Kong and forced Kong to upgrade too to even be able to fight against her. Kong was able to fight against MechaGodzilla and help beat him while Kong was weakened. Shimo is more powerful than MechaGodzilla. I think that's safe to say, and that's not even mentioning that Shimo is a great counter for MechaGodzilla, her Frost Beam. The beam was able to quickly freeze Godzilla and overpower him with a direct hit, and Shimo probably would have been able to keep it up if Mothra didn't distract her and allow Godzilla to break out. Think Shimo can do the same thing to MechaGodzilla here too, and that's extremely bad for MechaGodzilla. He's a mech, he's made up of metal and electronics, and that does not combine well with being completely frozen solid. It'll cause some serious internal damage. It'll make the metal brittle and weak. It could even cause the electronics to completely stop working. And that's the perfect opening for Shimo to get in there and start ripping things apart. It's a good fight, but Shimo has pretty much proven that she's got what it takes to put MechaGodzilla down, and she's gonna win here. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.